Welcome back to another episode of Cryptids, Myths, and Mysteries. Today is July 4th. Family get together. This is my old home where I was raised. This house right here is a little different. This is not the house I was raised in. I was raised in a single wide trailer with an addition on it. It was many moons ago. It was at night, well, dusk. Sun was setting, and if you take a look, these trees right here were not this high, okay? She and I had a swing set, right? Probably about right where this room right here is. And off in that direction, the sun had set, and we saw something in the sky. It looked like headlights in the sky, and they were headed this way. Now, we got off the swing set, and we come down here in the yard, and down in here was a huge oak tree, right? It's gone now. It got diseased and died a long time ago. Had it cut down and whatnot. Well, we noticed that thing was getting closer. She and I had took a seat probably about right around in here. I'm looking right. Yep, it's about right around in here. You look down there, you can see behind this pine tree right here, the oak. Now this pine tree right here was way smaller then. That tells you how many moons ago that was. So this thing coming closer, it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it got over here, right? And it was huge. It made the pine, or the pine, I'm looking at the pine, my apologies. It made that oak look really small. It made me think, if you take a turtle and hold it up, I made mention it looked like a football had been stretched out, but more like a turtle, right? And it looked like it had appendages coming off of it, like I can't explain. It was hooked, like this, right? Coming out off the body. It'd come out like that in a couple of spots. And it went over here and hovered for a little bit. Now, this thing was huge, and it made no sound. None. And when it left, it made a track over this way. Way back here, you can see that ridge line up there is a mountain back here. Back on this side, it passed over that way. Okay? And it was so big, it looked like it was so low that it was going to scrape the trees. Do you see how far away that? It was just huge. Now let's see. Like my fingers going across, it just looked about like that big. It was huge. Kind of a silver metallic. I do believe it had a blinking light underneath it. That's the only thing that makes me consider that it could have been some type of, I don't know what it was. But it fits the criteria of unidentified flying phenomena. Unidentified flying phenomena. That's where we're at. My first UFO encounter. I'm pretty sure my only one to this point. Well, everybody, and we're back. I want to introduce you to my sister. This is Gloria.
Hello.
what I wanted to ask you about is if you remember what we saw when we were kids, the UFO we saw. I went through an account of what I remember, but seeing as how you were there too, I would like to know what you saw. You think
Well,
we'd care?
I do remember what I saw, or what we saw. And yeah, I have my own recollection of where. But to me, it looked like, if I had to describe it from a child's perspective, it looked like a turtle floating in the air with its legs spread out. It was round and it looked like it had
Legs, didn't it?
It started off really small in the distance, like a star.
All right, I walked through it for the audience. You mind doing that for me?
Yeah.
Where was the swing set up? Because I remember that's where we first saw the light in the sky.
Yes. It was out in the front yard, out here, facing the mountain over here. So I guess that's the east. Or is that the west?
That's west.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry. See, I don't know my sense of direction.
That's okay.
Don't
That's
look
okay.
at me.
Now, I don't mean to lead you with any questions. I don't want to lead you. You remember what you remember, but can you remember approximately where in the yard? If you can remember where. Take this house completely out of the question.
Well, it's still basically set up the same way, so yeah, it was basically, I'm wanting to say, well, I can't see the mountains that well now, but it was in this vicinity somewhere.
Right.
Is that what you remember? It was in this vicinity.
You see, guys?
Here.
See where she's standing? I was standing right in here.
Yeah.
So it's pretty close.
Somewhere.
She remembers it being in the shape of a turtle.
Yes.
What did I tell you guys?
The porch was basically in the same area.
Yeah.
The same spot.
Yeah.
And it was dark, and Mom and Dad were inside, and we were out here.
The sun had set. And it was dusky dark. There was still a little bit of light in the sky.
Yes.
Do you remember the headlights in the sky?
Yes. Yeah, I do. But that was after it started coming closer.
Right.
At first, it just looked like a star. We were just swinging, really didn't pay any attention to that. But then, yeah, as it started getting closer, yeah, because I remember it kind of looking like a car. I'm thinking, oh, what is that? You know, and ooh, what's that? And we're just keep looking. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then there it is, right there, like kind of like where that tree is, to me, if I remember it right, like in that area. You know, where the blue sky is, back behind this tree, like right in there. Because I think, didn't we walk out further, like in here, to kind of look at it better?
Come to think of it, I believe we did. I thought for a second we were sitting down for a minute back here. And when it got out here, it seemed to... Do you remember any sound?
No. I don't. But that's not saying there wasn't any. Do you?
No, I remember no sound whatsoever.
Yeah,
and
it
was huge, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely gigantic to me. Keep in mind, though, we were little. So everything looks huge to you when you're little. But
taking into account the size of that oak tree that was down there,
yeah.
What I remember most, besides when it took off and went over the mountain, was it kind of almost like it stopped.
It stopped. It hovered there. It stopped and hovered there. And I think one of us was saying, oh, gosh, get Mom and Dad. You know, one of us said that. Probably me, you know.
We were both thinking it.
Oh, yeah. And but we didn't have time.
No.
Because then it just took off. And then it just got smaller and smaller and disappeared as quick as it came. And went that way, I think. And I remember telling Mom and Dad about it, though, and they're just like, you know.
Yeah.
You done lost your mind.
I asked them about it. Well, I asked Mom about it last night, actually. I was talking to her.
Oh.
I asked her if she remembers. No, she has no recollection. So.
Because she didn't see it.
Right.
She's busy doing Mom's stuff in the house, you know. dishes and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I remember of it.
Well, I appreciate you taking me through it.
Oh, sure.
So everybody, that was our account. I gave you mine first and let her give hers. It is what it is, you know. I told you that cryptids, myths, and mysteries wasn't just cryptids. It's a little bit of everything. Hell, I saw a projection of her. I don't know what it looked like her, and outside the hallway, outside of our bedroom. I recounted this story on Hidden Existence.
That's when we had the bunk beds.
Yeah, we had the bunk beds. I thought it was you outside, and well, it wasn't, because this little girl, I asked if you were okay, and you just kind of looked sad, and you had your hands folded in front of you, kind of leaned against the wall and looked down, and then I heard rustling underneath the bed, my bed, and it was you. And I look up, and the little girl was gone.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about it, though. Yeah, I think you had asked me if I had gotten up that night. I don't remember getting up.
God, we were little then, too.
Oh, yeah.
That was well before the UFO event. So, yeah. I'm going to let this stand. We're going to wrap this up. Don't want to keep our videos too long. So, thank you guys. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Till next time, love you, mean it.
Bye.